This was like Clash of the Titans, actually. It really, really was. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Young, Famous, and African. This is season 1, episode 6. Like I said, this was like the Clash of the Titans on this episode. Listen, we'll get all the way into it, okay? Let's start off though with Zari and Andile. He ends up having Zari come over to the house, and he's all excited because she came to the house, so she swore she would never come back over to the house and all of this. So he's like, oh yeah, she's here. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, but she was there basically to give him his invite to this train ride that she had put together. It's I think basically like 3 days they were going to be together, and they have all kind of different functions and things for them while they're on this train. I said, that sounds like a whole lot of fun. But he's not actually going to be able to go because he has prior plans with his family, and we actually did get to see him with his children, and they actually went out to the gravesite for his father and all of that. So that was definitely more important. He could not make it, so that was that. So he stayed in town. Now listen to this. Nadia did not show up, okay? And at first, Annie wasn't there. When they all were going to board the train, Swanky, listen, Swanky was so clean. He had this jacket on that was like a brocade, and it had these shoulder plackets that were over. They were really exaggerated, and they were He would go get on the train, and just going to flip it. I mean, it was all like camera ready, runway stuff, red carpet stuff, clean. And then I just noticed. I said, "Ain't got the nerve to be bow-legged too." I said, "Okay, here, Swanky. Enough with you. You going on, Swanky." He was clean as hell. But Annie didn't show up, and then she ended up showing up late. She literally had the train stopped. I said, come through, Annie. She had the train stopped, so she could get on. But she was late. While they were actually there, before everything really got started, when the train first had started out, there was a little speech. This is what got everything started. There was a little speech that Miss Zari wanted to give, just thanking everybody for coming through and accepting her invitation and showing up and all of that. Well, Connie got completely pissed. And she was like, what was this little speech about? She said, does she think that she's coming into the group and dethroning someone? Like, girl, what, you didn't know? You didn't know that it was a battle? I know what you mean, Connie, because I hate being part of a pageant, and I didn't know we were in a pageant, and I didn't have time to get all my evening wear things together. I understand, girl. I get it, but it's quite a bit narcissistic on your part and Zari's part. Again, the both of them, they are two sides of the same coin. And they know when they're pushing each other's buttons. But I laughed at this because right away Zari acted like she didn't know what Connie's problem was. And the group kind of seen the shift in the energy. It was kind of like looking like, what the hell is really going on here? In the midst of all that, Annie had actually showed up. By that time, she had the train stopped, like I said, as she showed up. She got on, and her and Connie kind of were looking at each other once they kind of moved past that part. And of course, instead of, because most people would have just, even if they seen that Connie was a little irritated, would have just continued on with what they were saying, welcome the guests, and then been done with it. But no, Zari drew attention to it, stopped what she was doing, and she's like, what's going on? Then she gonna ask Kazi, what's wrong with your wife? This, that, and the other. What's wrong with wifey? This, that, and the other, on and on. Pointed it out because she was happy. She was happy with herself. She got up underneath your skin. And the thing is, it shouldn't have gotten underneath your skin, but it did because both of y'all are petty. Y'all are both the same. Both of you want to be the Beyonce of the group. And until Zari came into the group, actually Connie was the Beyonce of the group. In her mind. In her mind. Because truly, for real, Swaggy is the Beyonce of the group. But we'll just leave that as what it is. That's kind of an unsaid thing. Again, he's the one person that everybody likes and nobody has a problem with. He is the Beyonce Knowles of the group. But for all intents and purposes, Connie will let you be the Beyonce of the group. And honey, Ms. Zari then came and said, no, sorry. You think you're the Beyonce of the group, then I'm going to be the Diana Ross. How about that? Because Ross trumps B. I said it. I love Beyonce, but in the grand scheme of things, Ross trumps B. And Zari thinks she's Ross, honey. And I'm like, come on, Connie, girl, you got to get... You don't take it lying down, girl. Come on, girl. All the single ladies. Let's go. So that's basically what's going on, okay? And by the way, me and my messy self, you know I love Ross and I love OB, honey. So no shade to either group. I love both of those ladies, honey. I am a huge fan of both of those ladies. I love them both. But in the grand scheme of things, Ross does trump B for now. Anyway, literally. Until she leaves the planet. She trumps her. Anyway, let's go. So, back at home, Nadia and Andile have gotten together. And he's like, I'm surprised that you didn't get on the train. And she's like, why? I'm not her friend. I don't care for that lady. And why would I get on there? They ended up having this other little conversation. He told her why he wasn't going and everything. And she told the story of the fact that she grew up without her dad being present. And he would say, well, why don't you go ahead and look for him? And she's like, no, I really don't do it out of respect for my mother and all that my mother has actually done for me. And he was telling her, I get it, but you can't close the wound without, the fact that he's actually still here, you can actually close the wound. But, you got to do it the way you want to do it. I get what he's saying. I get what she's saying. I'm like, yeah, girl, but it is what it is. She'll figure it out. Back at the train ride, they have stopped and they're going on this safari. Child, now I'm here for everything. I'm like, no, not that. That was too close for comfort. They right there. The lion is like right there. It was this whole little situation. It was scary. It was scary even watching it. Because there was like a hyena. A hyena will tear your ass up. Tear your ass up. And they're vicious. Hyenas are vicious. They really are. That's why they be laughing all the time, child. If you ever hear a group of hyenas, sound like people laughing. Vicious. Just like Connie and Zari. But it got very scary. It was very scary to watch. They were like, driver, can you just go on? This was the thing, though. With the safari, they had to separate in cars. So what they ended up separating out, Kaylee, Naked, and Zari were in one vehicle. And then you had Kazi and Connie and Swanky and Annie in the other. So they were separated out. And there was discussions about what had happened, the night before. And sides were taken. Okay? There were some sides taken. And what had happened, how it went down, and how it was kind of petty and that kind of thing. Okay, sides were taken as far as in the first car. Naked and Kaylee did kind of side with Zari. That's what happened. It was what it was. Nobody thought no more about it. Going about their business. They get to dinner. Here it is. You hear Kaylee say to Zari, "Are you going to bring it up? You going to bring it up?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to bring it up." I said, "Okay." Here, Zari addresses Connie and Annie about them laughing and everything when she was doing the speech and how the energy shifted and this, that, thing, and the other. And she just pushed. She basically pushed where it really didn't. You know, it had happened. It was over with. And that was it. But she pushed it. And here we go. Now we got to have this conversation. Child. That dag on. Connie got her right together, baby. So there was no need for a speech. There was no need for a speech. And what you were doing, you're acting like a little girl who's throwing her toys out from the cart. I said, oh. And the funny part is, yeah, she is, but so are you. Like, at this point, y'all are both fighting for the Queen Bee spot. Y'all are both acting like that. Everything you're saying is the exact same thing Zari's saying. It was so weird how both of them were saying the same thing. Both of them were doing the same thing. And both of them have gotten people to back them. I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. So Swaggy sees the separation at the table, and that's where he got irritated. So he spoke up about the separation at the table, and he was mad with Kaylee and Naked for actually teaming up. What seemed like teaming up. They're like, it happened yesterday. It could have just went on, but y'all done teamed up. Y'all done discussed it. And now it looks like an attack that was planned. And he got mad. He got up and he left. He took the whole group that he was with, and they all left the table. Like, if that's what y'all doing, y'all do that by yourself. And they left. I was like, oh, jeez. Okay. But again, nobody's paying attention to the fact that the two are both doing the same thing. They're doing and saying the same exact thing. Them two. I said, oh my gosh. Anyway, let's go back home. Andile and Nadia are talking again. Here she comes this time. She's telling him, you know, me and Victim broke up, child. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, I haven't even said anything to anybody. You're the first person I said anything to. It's the long distance. The long distance is actually, it was too much. And it's actually, you know, it was just taking too much of a course. And it was bad. And he's saying, you know, some different things. He told her it's okay to cry. She's like, oh, no, baby, you'll never get that type of weakness to use against me at any point. She was sad, but she's like, I am not getting ready to cry. Sad about it. But, and that was, she kept saying, you know, the thing about her dad not being in her growing up, how for her men are pretty much disposable, you know, and it's an issue, but it is what it is. Let's go back on the train. On the train, now they're doing the last night, they're having this party and casino night. I was excited for that because I was like, they're going to be clean, clean, clean. Maybe then they were. They were. First thing we saw Miss Zari, honey, on her way down to the party. These badass shoes. I said, girl, if you go come on through. They were giving you every bit of Cinderella, honey. They were beautiful shoes. Beautiful. I don't even remember what the outfit that she had on, but these shoes were just drop dead gorgeous. They really, really were. I said, okay, come on through here. And child, Miss Connie. Miss Connie came through there, baby, with this blood red gown with feathers, honey, and it was given, welcome to the Moulin Rouge, honey. I said, Miss Connie, you better, honey. It was short in the front and long in the back. And here comes Swanky, honey. Swaggy come down. This is where I noticed that he was bow-legged. He came down with this whole fashion forward Western type of it gave you like the outfit in its entirety gave you the sheriff from a Western, but it was all bedazzled and adorned and schwanky, Danny. It was so sharp, and he was so damn clean. So clean with his bow-legged self. I said, you better walk through here, god damn it. Turned it. Even down to naked, had just a navy blue, and it had, the suit was not a pinstripe, but it was literally blocked. There was white lines, little thin white lines in the block. He looked really good in that suit. I said, come on, naked. He looked good in that suit. He really did. He looked good. Who else stood out? Annie. Annie looked like a goddamn mess. Annie came in there with this outfit on. She said, what am I getting dressed up for? To come to some party where everybody's at odds with each other and we all separated out. I ain't even doing it. She showed up. That outfit looked like she was on her way to Costco, honey. I said, girl, Miss Annie, you out of order. She looked a goddamn mess. But just disrespectful. But anyway, and it was all, they had the whole little casino thing set up. Like Murder on the Orient. It was really sharp. I was like, okay. So they get there and everything was separated out like it was a dinner. You got, literally, they're sitting, and you know trains, they're not so big. You got naked Kaylee and Zari sitting on one side, everybody else sitting on the other side. I said, what the heck? It was a mess. And in the confessional, when they were getting ready to go to the party, Connie said, listen, flat out, I will continue to fight with Zari until she understands that we are friends. We are not your fans. I said, oh, okay. I ain't mad at that. But at the same time, I think she's going to probably keep on fighting you for the exact same reason. This was a complete version of the pot calling the kettle black. Nobody wins, because this is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Y'all tell me in the comments, did you see the same thing I seen? It was literally the pot calling the kettle black. You two are fighting for the exact same reasons, but there's a little something extra, and I'm going to get to it 1 second. So they're going through with the party, and they literally aren't speaking to each other. They're not talking to each other. Swanky that had him a few drinks. Swanky done got mad, child. He's sad now because of the separation of the group. It was getting on his nerves. So he ended up right before he went off. He went the hell off. But right before he did that, Causey and Naked actually had a little talk. Naked approached Causey and told him, you know, I wanted to apologize for the awkwardness and the constant battling and fighting back and forth between me and Connie. You know, I know it's put you kind of in an awkward position, so I apologize about that. But she my sister, you know what I mean? She my sister, and I'm getting to know you, and I like you because I see what's going on with you all. Whatever it is you're doing, keep on doing that. It works. I've never seen her like this before. So that was really, really cool. That was really, really cool because he had a lot of real questions about Causey and her and their little situation. So that's good. Now, I wish he could get his own thing together with old Kaylee. And I don't know about Kaylee. Kaylee just ain't rubbing me right lately. But anyway, that's another time. We'll talk about it another time. Anyway, moving on. So Swanky goes off. And the three of them are sitting over there like they don't know what he's talking about, which didn't do anything but further irritate Swaggy. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you don't know what I'm talking about? I said, I understand. I don't like people playing in my face. I don't. And that's exactly what was going. He was like, he didn't use those words. Those are my words. But that's what he was wanting to say. Don't fucking play in my face. You know, and that's what they were doing. And Kaylee, he called Kaylee right up. Said, no, don't you? He said, you two. I am disappointed with you two to team up and go ahead with all this division. And they, don't say y'all. I didn't know. Kaylee, shut up. Because you wanted it to get going on. You were happy for it to be going on. You really were. I think, well, Naked said it. You know, felt like they were ganging up on Zari. He bought the bait. Ain't no big deal. But the thing is, her and your sister doing the same thing, Naked. Just hush. And I think he caught it after a minute. And he just hushed because he ended up getting into it with Swanky. And he's saying, stop yelling. He said, no, it's okay. You want to say what you want to say. We get it. We listen. But if you need some help. He said, need some help? Help for exactly what? And that got the little shit going. And I said, uh-oh. And you could see it like in Annie's face. I thought Annie was getting ready to cry for a minute when Swanky had gotten loud like that, because that's so out of his character. It looked like Annie was getting ready to cry. And I was kind of like, well, wait a minute, Swanky, okay, calm down. It's odd to see him like that. You could tell that's not him. That's not his get down. That's not his aura. That's not the space where he lives at. And everybody, even the males, were kind of like, okay. And I think even after the fact that Swanky had gotten so upset, I think it even alarmed Naked as well, because he ended up getting loud, and then he pulled back and was like, okay. I think it alarmed him to see him go there. Here, you know, messy as Connie was like, oh. In her confession, she said, I didn't even know that Swanky even get down like that. And I think she was impressed by it. But it was odd to see him in that space. But honey, Connie liked it. You know, she likes confusion. So anyway, so he got calm a little bit, and then as soon as she had a space, she jumped in. When I tell you that Connie jumped in there, baby, and read Zari for filth. She read her for filth, honey, giving her, let me tell you something. It was so calm and so nice, nasty. I was like, oh. Girl, Miss Connie, your ways drive me nuts, girl. But a lot of the little shit you do, girl. Guilty. Oh, because you know, I know how to push somebody's buttons. You know, when they scream and you just get to. That's what she was giving her. She sat there and read Zari down. But I said, the only bad thing, girl, is everything you're saying. It all applies to you, too. But anyway, girl, she said, you know, before you came into this group of friends, and it was stuff that nobody could actually even argue. So before you came into this group of friends, this group was never this loud. We've had our own little issues. But when I had an issue with Annie, I went over to Annie's house. When I had an issue with you, I came right to you. When I had an issue with Naked, I went right to Naked. But any issues that we've ever had, it's never consumed the whole group. But ever since you came, now we got division in our group. Honey, this ain't what we do. I said, no, calculated, nasty, and nice, honey. I said, oh, just call me Nice-T. Call me Nice-T. Let's call Red Zari down. Down. Zari ends up coming back and gave her, let me tell you something, honey. See, I know that you're intimidated by me. You're intimidated. And when I come, you know, it's just the way that it is. You know, my confidence is really, really high. Is that my problem? No. Everything you're saying, you're projecting it back on me. But the fact of the matter is, I intimidate you. And this, that, and the other. And that shit did not ring well with the rest of the group. They were like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold up, honey. Who is it that you think you are actually? So it didn't work. I said, oh, she got you, Zari. She got you. You played your hand and you played it wrong. She got you because in the midst of you basically letting her know the truth that you point out her insecurities, you have said it out loud in the group. In the group, you done offended the group. You didn't just offend her. I said, oh, you messed up. You messed up. But, instead of just saying you're intimidated, she was saying like people are intimidated by me. And that offended the group. Because, honey, listen, she said, and it just helped. It helped Connie. She said, you understand, girl, in our friend group, there are no levels. There are no levels in our group. You brought problems. Honey, and Swaggy was in his confessional. He said, wait a minute. Who do you think you are? He said, does she think that this is Instagram or something? He said, we're all young. We're all famous. And we're all rich. Nobody is intimidated by you, Miss Zari. Nobody. I said, girl, if you would have just focused your energy directly on Connie, y'all could have kept going and y'all could have had that thing going on. But when you put it out there like you was that girl, you offended everybody in the group pretty much. And you messed up. And then she ended it up in her confessional was like, honey, it just is what it is, honey. When you get two bosses together, we're going to clash. And that's just how it is. Bam. I said, girl, that all is very true. But this battle goes to Miss Connie. Because you did a good job in separating the group and getting you some people. And she had her some people. But then you offended everybody. I think except for Kaylee. Good luck with that. Anyway, baby, listen. This episode was really good. I think we're getting ready to go into the last episode. Because I think there's only 7 episodes in this. Yeah, we definitely we'll be sitting here with bated breath with our legs crossed for a season 2. But baby, listen, that little train ride, it stayed on the track, but it was the whole way through, baby. We still here with it, honey. Listen, this has been episode 6 of Young, Famous, and African. Baby, this is a ride. I'll see y'all on this next episode. Later, y'all.